Okay, so funny thing, we could actually shove cutscenes in different stages if we want. So that little intro where Shadow's walking with the emeralds and then Black Doom's like, you disobeyed me. Oh, he doesn't really say anything that has to be in the first stage. He's just holding emeralds, which could look a little stupid, I guess, if it's later in the game. But, he just says, like, oh, you disobeyed me. So at any point on this, like, dark route, we could have that cutscene happen in a different stage. So, like, we could shove that in Central City if we wanted, or in Gun Fortress for all we wanted. Yeah, we could swap the animations around. I just don't want to do editing of them, if that makes sense. Like, cutting things and stuff would get complicated. But it would be possible to, like, have that Westopolis cutscene where Black Doom's like, hey, what the heck, you disobeyed me. We could shove that in, like, Prison Island and Mad Matrix or whatever. It could go anywhere, which opens up possibilities. Yeah, let me confirm that real quick, how it looks. I mean, I think it would require some editing with, like, the SNBs, but let me shove something in here. This will not work. Hold on. I need to... Let me hide this for a moment. I need to make a fresh extracted copy, because otherwise it's going to be a disaster. All right. Uh-oh. I think it's gonna crash. Yep, fun. Love it when Dolphin does that. I need to switch to non-Vulcan for a bit. It's an OBS thing. Wait a minute. It deleted my path. That's what happened. Good old Dolphin crashing. If Knuckles replaced Sonic, well, that might get a little crazy, but I suppose nothing is really off the table. That would require then swapping around fonts, but that is feasible, I guess. But there's, like, Knuckles wouldn't have lines regarding the tank and stuff like that, so that might get pretty wild pretty fast. Okay, so what I wanted to check was... What if we... Current cutscene play. I think I can just override this. I don't actually know. I can just play neutral real quick. I'm gonna use the executor byte to skip it, but we can see what the event is then. Okay, this is the event that I was thinking of. So it's 2101. Okay, so now I'm just gonna skip to the next stage, let that locked in, and we should see it play on this stage. Oh god, yeah, so it's in like a weird position. But if all that was adjusted, it could be done. Yeah, new world record. Yeah. So, like, the fact that the game doesn't break when you change the scenery and stuff like that, it would make it doable. Let me actually... Oh, you know what? The Westopolis cutscene, though, is, like, at the end of Westopolis. I think most other maps are going to be blank because of where the position is. Hey, why didn't it play? What the heck? I mean, I hear the audio. No one tells me what to do. I think it's because I was fast-forwarding. I gotta let it catch up. Yeah, okay, so it's just gonna keep doing that. Probably. It's probably hard-coded in memory somewhere. So probably, yeah. Unless it's part of the event data itself, let me see. It might be part of the SNB. What was the event ID? 2101. Oh, it also could be this, because I never figured out what the SCR is. Maybe we could edit that right now and find out. Okay, this is a big one. Trying to see if there's something obvious. Like with the float values was, that would be what I would expect if it's really controlling position. It'd be big endian, probably. Usually for Shadow, I'm pretty sure it's big endian. So I'm not seeing what I want to see, so it's probably not this file that controls that. Replace one. Yeah, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's do that. That doesn't hurt. So let's swap around. I guess that scene, because that's an easy one we can retest. With the commander scene, because that would be at 0-0, so we'll do that. We'll swap these two. Oops. 2101, and I'm not crazy, right? It was that? Yes. Okay, let's see what it does. I'm gonna temporarily uncheck the rando because I'm getting annoyed. It's also unhook. Okay, we are unhooked. Green screen them. Well, I would want it to work in game though, is what I'm getting at. So, although honestly, this might be easier, just like not that. Just doing it through video is probably way easier. This seems to be getting complicated, but it would be cool. Okay, so this one was swapped, and it seems the same so far. Oh, it's missing the subtitles. Is that what it is? Is it just the subtitle timings? I guess that's what it is. How weird. I guess that we just swapped the SCRs around, so I guess I know what SCRs do now. It's just purely the subtitle timings. So yeah, these two will have no subtitles, but then the next one should have a subtitle, because we didn't edit it. Yep, okay. So mystery solved. We know what SCRs are now, so that's not related. If we look at this... This is just the textures, DFF, that's the models. DMAs are like the mouth movements. Ooh, what is this? We don't know what a SCEN is, actually. Is that possibly what it is? Let's swap those. I remember seeing that the other day, because SNB is the camera. I actually think it's the camera that controls it, now that I'm thinking about it. Because if it uses the camera as like the master parent, like if you would do it in Unity or Godot or something, you could have the parent as the root, and then everything is attached to the camera. So I think that's pretty likely. But let's see what the CEN. I don't know why I'm saying S. CEN. Let's see what that does, because I have not messed with that. This one doesn't even have one. So, oh, but that makes sense because event 1101 actually takes place at 000. Let me find a different event then. Need to find one that has that file. Oh, that one actually did. Yoink. And then let's replace it. All right, let's see what happens. And that would be the Westopolis walking one, which should just play if I hit continue. I guess after that cutscene? I thought it was first, apparently not. Ooh, okay. I didn't expect that. Huh. I don't know what that means. So is it camera and CEN then? Because camera obviously was in the same spot. Let me yoink the camera out of this grab. Is there no camera? Oh no, right there, okay. It's like, there's no way there's no camera. Let's see what happens now. Uh-oh, I think the game just crashed. Oh, no, it's playing, but it's just blank. I think I have an idea why. I think it's waiting for the stage to load in, which it never will, because there's probably no stage at that point. So we can cheat and grab the no fade screen code from 2-player mod to see if that's the case. Unless I don't have it in here. I guess I don't. 1 second. I'm sure I have it in this then. Oh, you know what? It would have been grouped as part of independent respawns, now that I'm thinking about it. It's probably just one of these 06s. I'm not sure which one, so I'm just gonna grab them all. Oh, but there's some here too. Pain. Okay, I got it in my repos somewhere. I can just go to an old version of the 2-player mod. I'm sure it's in there. Legacy. It's probably even here. Yep, there we go. No, it's not. Fade in here. Nope. Alright, we can just go to the old tag. I'm sure it's in like 1.2 probably. There it is, no fade screen. Yoink. Apparently not. It just really is blank. How weird. Okay, so what if we restore the CEM then? Maybe that has to do with like mapping object roots or something. but keep the camera. 2101. Nope. No luck. Although I got this interesting message in the console. Secured by the size of the next scene. Okay, I think that just means... because there's a scene B, it just successfully got the memory. That's all that means. Okay, well that's a dead end for now. Let's wrap this up, because I unfortunately need to do other things today, so... Let's go back to this. Let's just assume it's possible. So, backing up. If we can make edits to that, what can we do? Let me uncheck the things that were just there, that were not part of this. Oh, can I not tell this to go away? I could have sworn you can... Oh, you right click, okay, yep. So this was just messing about. Let me shove these out of the way. So I guess Last Story and Devil Doom would always be a thing. Or Last Way, sorry. Not Last Story. Last Way to Devil Doom, and that's just the end. And that would happen way at the end at some point. So, wait, what was the intention with Cryptic Castle? So, okay, so let's recap. Shadow starts Westopolis, he helps Black Doom. Digital Circuit, I guess you help Black Doom again. You get to Prison Island, you help Black Doom again. You get sent to Mad Matrix, that just can kind of happen, that doesn't matter. Or we... I guess it doesn't have to be that. I don't know. I'll just shove this for now. Neutral's what you had in mind? Okay. Just get to the end. Charmy is just kind of there, getting discs. A lot of them. I can just shove them on here. Minus stage 6s. Let's see. There's Airfleet. The Arc, which could honestly probably be skipped. Nothing of value really happens there. Or even is it? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. There's Death Ruins, that's not accounted for. Sky Troops is already on here. I just realized I can do this much faster. Space Gadget. I'm just gonna add everything, screw it. Actually, maybe not these. We don't really need those. Okay. Sure. There's nothing really... Any of these choices doesn't really matter, I suppose, so... Sure. Let's go with that. So would we have Eggbreaker in this mix? I guess nothing of value is really said in Eggbreaker. So maybe this is just not a thing. It can go into the void. He just says, like, thanks for securing by doing damage down there or something. No, I think it's the other one. I don't think he says anything really of value. Okay. I mean, it would break the Circus Park intro anyway, because of the emerald. You exit... Wait, you exit Mad Matrix from the computer... Yeah, I know Cryptic Castle itself doesn't have the emerald because it's in the boss. That's the only reason they did that. Okay, so Cryptic Castle to Circus Park. Presumably, the white emerald is here. Let's not worry too much about the emeralds, actually. Well, besides, like, hard cutscenes we can't get rid of. But, like, the rank screen stuff, like Digital Circuit, you could just remove the emerald here if we want to have Lethal Highway later, which has the same emerald color. Just for example. Oh, I see. So we're already doing that, so cool. Let me shove these out so I can actually see them. These bosses can just go away for now. I feel like the Circus Park mission doesn't really matter, although maybe it would make sense to help Eggman? Just to have an excuse to go to Iron Jungle or something? It doesn't really make sense, though, because he sees Eggman. He doesn't, like, get ordered there. He just kind of is there. Okay, this just entered my brain, so let me put this down. I don't know if this makes sense yet, but let me write it. If we have... Where is Iron Jungle? There it is. If we have Iron Jungle, the boss, because I kind of treat this as one thing. Oops. Forget about, like, what mission you do here for now. After that, you could do the Space Gadget transition with the whole stupid Sonic cutscene. Just because he's already sitting on that platform. What if the boss fight involves Black Doom after Last Way before Black Devil Doom? I mean, I suppose that would be fine. You could just interject it as long as there is no after defeating him cutscene. Although that seems weird because he'd be like, oh, you defeated me. He falls to the ground, and then immediately he's like, ah, ha, 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 yes, Shadow. Because that would look kind of dumb, but I mean, gameplay-wise, I guess. Lost impact between Eggbreaker and Space Gadget. Yeah, that could work, because... I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're right, because after the Space Gadget intro cutscene is that whole Sonic sequence where they take off to go to space, but then you could have this level interjected as a flashback, and then the flashback ends and it continues to the Space Gadget intro, like, completion in space. Because those are two separate stage loads, so that would be doable. So sure, let's shove that in there. That makes sense to me. Not really sure on what the mission would be, but whatever. Okay, so what do we have so far here? This is unclear what we're connecting. If we're sticking this here, if there's something in between. So this addresses at least acknowledging the Android storyline. I feel like Central City just won't be a thing, which kind of sucks. Let me just shove that up here for now. I feel like no one would care if the arc just doesn't exist, considering gameplay. And there's not really any valuable cutscenes in that one, I think. Although I suppose you would miss out on the Black Arms using the Eclipse Cannon, but that doesn't really make sense anyway. I don't know, we'll come back to that. If Shadow does nothing, everyone loses. Pretty much. Death Ruins to go between Circus Park and Iron Jungle. Actually, that's not a bad idea, just because... Yeah, because it is still a jungle environment. How about after Circus Park, Shadow leaves wandering in my field as flashback to the Doom? Both of that could work, and I suppose this could happen after, or it wouldn't really matter. So let's just assume this. I'm just gonna use neutral for now because it doesn't really matter. Death Ruins happens. I'm just gonna say Black Bull would also probably happen there. Maybe. Maybe not. Then the Doom. That would still make sense sequence-wise. So you're in the forest. Shadow has the Doom flashback. It doesn't really make sense for Black Doom to show Shadow the Doom flashback after he beats up Black Bull, though, so maybe he should do Dark here? I don't know. And then there would be no Black Bull. The downside to that is you'd miss out on the whole promise time bullshit or whatever Black Doom says with the stage. He actually has, like, relevant things to say. Yeah, that's true. Because if we're going by, like, cutscene significance, this unfortunately has kind of a significant cutscene. Something, something, Maria. I mean, that is this game in a nutshell. Something, something. Heavy Dog than Death Runs? I suppose that might work better because you haven't really betrayed Black Doom at this point. You helped him out in Westopolis and Digital Circuit, and then he just kind of ignored him, and Black Doom doesn't really interact in these stages. Like, sure, he's in Mad Matrix, but he doesn't have any cutscenes of significance. I don't know why I have this set to dark, actually. That's so weird. I'm just going to make that neutral there. Okay, I like that idea better, because we haven't betrayed Black Doom yet, so it would make sense that Black Doom could just show up at any point and be like, hey, you seem troubled. Here's a cutscene flashback. Okay, so let's go with that. So Shadow just has a flashback. Then you're in Death Ruins. Or maybe not, I don't know. This can really go anywhere at this point. This could happen after Iron Jungle. But then the Space Gadget sequence, That's a hard one. He lost track of you since we destroyed the internet. I love it. The Doom should not come before Iron Jungle because Shadow needs to have his Android crisis. If we're doing that, then... See, this is why it needs to just be like a build your own true route, because everyone's gonna have different opinions, and these are kind of all good points. Because I like the idea of like Death Ruins and Iron Jungle being similar set pieces so they transition to each other, but I think that kind of kills it if we want to do what Spectral's saying. Sure, yeah, that would be cool if you make like a video of it just as just to see if it even makes remotely any sense. Even though we could probably make it a little more polished with like edits to when the scenes take place. Okay, so for now I'm gonna disconnect Death Ruins. That's just kind of, it exists. I guess it's not gonna be linked to this stuff. We haven't even done Glyphic Canyon, by the way. that just kind of was irrelevant. Although it can kind of happen at any point. The only thing you know for sure is that Final Hunt is right before the last way. Sure, you could argue that for either of these, I think. Black Comet or Final Hunt, doesn't really matter. They're effectively the same stage. It's just whose side were you on at the time. I feel like Blue Falcon is kind of irrelevant, so I'm just going to shove that up there. We still haven't shoved Lethal Highway anywhere. Are we accounting for Eggbreaker Mad Matrix, or is that just kind of ignored? I kind of forgot about him. He could just be shoved in here, I suppose. There's no real consequence whether or not it's in there. I'll just shove it in there for now. After defeating Heavy Dog, wakes up and falls to Earth. We were just gonna ignore Mad Matrix Eggbreaker. I mean, I want to include as much content if it doesn't break anything. And this is kind of like a nothing burger, but it doesn't break anything either. So I would just shove it in there, just cause. A fake Eggman. No. See, now we're getting into the territory of, like, complex stuff. Where it's much more different. I suppose you're right. That could break Iron Jungle. I don't know. Okay, so Cryptic Castle goes to Circus Park. The Black Doom shows up, gives him the Doom flashback sequence. Heavy Dog is defeated. The flashback ends. Then what? He goes to Lethal Highway, maybe? I don't know. Really, anything can happen after that point. Because Circus Park to anywhere or Heavy Dog to anywhere, same thing. There's no real consequence. The only thing that doesn't make sense is going to Glyphic Canyon, I guess. Unless you argue, like, the flashback made him pass out, and then he's like, whoa, I underestimated his powers because of the flashback? Okay, actually, that can work. We'll do that for now. We'll do that. It's kind of a stretch, but we'll go with it. Death Ruins. Shadow wakes up back where he was. Well, we didn't establish, because remember, at Circus Park is where we stop for now. So it can go anywhere. He's wandering aimlessly. Yeah, I guess it just show him like in a forest area. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. What if we insert accounting for the cutscenes for the Doom here? Wait, what's in the cutscenes that would account for that? Am I forgetting something? Do I have an original game save with all the library unlocked? Time to find out. I sure do. Okay, let's do that. This. I know this is like the red tinted version because Cryptic Castle, but it's green otherwise. Okay, the Doom flashback sequence, blah 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 blah. I don't think anything happens in this cutscene, this is just part of the flashback, and then it's over. Okay, and then Shadow just teleports into Iron Jungle, apparently. Okay. So teleporting to Iron Jungle means we can literally have whatever we want for Iron Jungle, I guess. Based on that. That's true for Prison Island, too, but digital circuits are there, I guess is fine. I know level-wise this is a crappy idea, but I'm just going to shove it here for now, because sequence-wise it makes sense. Sky Truce happens. Go to Central City since the flashbacks. Okay, you know what? That does not sound bad. I kind of like that better, because this one's kind of just a whatever. Although the whole I underestimated his powers kind of makes sense, that he had the flashback. I don't know. Sure, we'll go with that. This doesn't really matter, so for now I'm just going to do that. I guess it doesn't really make sense for him to randomly go hero, though. Although the whole I underestimated his powers bit doesn't really make sense. Although you could just cut that cutscene. I don't know why I was so hung up on that. Nothing of value happens in that cutscene. He's just like, whoa, I woke up in Glyphic Canyon. I underestimated his powers. So you know what? That could just be cut. So let's not worry about that cutscene. So, okay. So Westopolis starts. Shadow helps Black Doom. He goes to Digital Circuit. He destroys the network, which makes sense with the whole Commander cutscene thing where they're like, oh, they destroyed the network. Prison Island happens. Shadow then just chills after arriving here. Black Doom could not be present. We could just have Charmy and no one. Maybe you help Charmy, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. So both of these could change nothing. I guess it would just be whatever the player prefers. Same cutscene happens where then you go to Mad Matrix. Eggbreaker may or may not be included. Doesn't really matter. Then you warp out to Cryptic Castle, and he's like, oh, there's the Doctor. Then I guess he helps Cream/Amy, which brings them to Circus Park. That one's kind of iffy, but whatever. We'll go with that. That's the best way to shove Circus Park in, I guess. Okay, so then Circus Park happens. He steals the emerald from Tails, or whatever, or he gets it from him. I don't know. Whatever it actually is. Doesn't matter. We'll have both of them. Then the Doom happens from Black Doom being like, oh, I found you, Shadow. Here's a flashback since you're not helping me for some reason. Shadow gets the flashback. Maria dies in Heavy Dog. Then he's like, oh, I want revenge on the humans now. Central City is a thing. Central City ends, and he just is now at Glyphic Canyon. I feel like there's a missing cutscene here. Which I guess maybe we could interject the shitty synopsis screen. So you finish Central City, he's like, haha, I've destroyed the city. Now to help Black Doom with his next task. And then you're in Glyphic Canyon? I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Glyphic Canyon is forced to do dark. You do dark. Sky Troops happens with the whole intro, and Black Doom's like, ha ha ha, we're flying. Let's go defeat the scientist. Then at this point, Shadow could just be like, fuck that, I'm going for the doctor. And you end up at Iron Jungle, question mark? Lethal Highway after Central City? Perhaps. So they destroy the city, and they found an emerald, and Black Doom's like, yo, let's leave the city now, I guess? I don't know. They blow up the city and retrieve the emerald. Sonic shows up and goes after the tank, which already has the emerald. Sure, you know what? Sure, why not? Just as a way to shoehorn in Lethal Highway. I think that kills Black Bull, though, because it wouldn't really make sense to turn, so goodbye, Black Bull. You'll be missed. That's a shame. That's probably one of the better bosses. I guess nothing really happens of value in that one either, though, so it's okay. Shadow boards the flagship if he goes neutral Sky Troops. It really feels like there was a missed cutscene or something, even in the base game, like finishing Sky Troops, like he's not going to interact with Eggman or anything, it's just not acknowledged. But it is what it is. Which is weird, because that was one of the first finished stages, at least in the builds we have that are early. So I don't know what's up with that. Alright. We actually have most of the stage at this point. Like, we have most of the game, surprisingly. So this is still going to be pretty incoherent, I think, but this is at least better than I expected and what we had drafted before, so... Unfortunately losing some of the content, but that's okay. Goes to Glyphic Canyon when he disobeys Black Doom in Central City. But see, I don't think it would make sense to disobey him in Central City because he's going to be pissed about the Doom and Heavy Dog. So that's why I was like, it would probably be Dark. Going with what Angry Waiter and Spectral Star were saying. A lot of these stages are a weird timeline or the failure. True. And this is not even accounting for the Commander storyline, by the way, but don't worry about that. Whatever. We're trying to fill in as much as we can. Yeah, doing Iron Jungle Hero takes you away from Android. True. Air Fleet after Lethal Highway. They escape and spy on Mr. President. Disobeys and get sent to Glyphic. Wait a minute, what? What? But Glyphic Canyon already happened because Sky Troops. Oh, wait a minute. No. Sorry, I'm wrong. I see what you're saying. That actually might work better because then we would keep that cutscene even though it's filler. Sure. So Lethal Highway happens... I guess it wouldn't matter if it's Hero or Dark. It kind of doesn't, but whatever. We'll go with Dark. Air Fleet happens, doesn't destroy the President, because that doesn't happen anyway in the cutscenes. Black Doom is pissed about that. Gets sent to Glyphic Canyon. Okay, so then Sky Troops. I'm gonna move down here. I don't know why I was moving up over time. Yeah, so don't worry about a lot of the stages happen at the same time. Like, ignore the Emerald inconsistency and stuff like that as we're drafting this. Just try to get as much of the game in a way that sort of makes sense, ignoring the Emeralds, where we can see most of the game and the story still kind of makes sense as one forced route. So, like, forget the other mission. There's going to be one locked-in objective per mission. Or per stage, I mean. That's what we're doing right now. We were also talking about, like, here was an earlier idea where you'd have, like, locked-in routes. So there'd still be missions, but at a certain point you'd commit to a certain type of route. But, yeah, this idea is, like, a lot less feasible, I think, than what we're doing here. This is more reasonable. Sky Troops Hero to Iron Jungle. Make amends with Black Doom. Okay, sure. Sure. We can go with that. Too soon to lose his trust again? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because I think in like the Last White intro, it's kind of implied they're just neutral at that point. So I know they made it ambiguous on purpose, but this is just fun brainstorming. This has nothing to do with Reloaded. Reloaded is done. Like, potentially we could do a true story, full story mod at some point, but who knows? Commander's with the President last story, so he never went out to fight. Except for the pre-Cosmic Fall scene. Yeah, what is up with that? Why is he in space in that scene? I just now realized. That seems very weird. That is odd. Gets on the last flagship to Iron Jungle. Sure. Yeah, I don't think Diablon would be included at all, actually. Let me remove. Actually, I don't want to push remove. I don't trust it. I don't want to make the program crash. So we'll leave it alone. Oops. So the only stages we've like written off. I guess the arc isn't completely written off at this point. So let me drag that back over here. Whoops. Black Bull, Lethal Highway, I think, is dead at this point. Same with Eggbreaker, Cryptic Castle. Sure. None of these particularly matter on the Doom. Like, regardless, the ending is the same. It would be you get Heavy Dog, so... Well, yeah, it's a flashback. Of course it's 50 years ago. That was nice about it, because you can kind of inject it at any point, so... We used it as... Okay, so let's recap again. Westopolis starts. Shadow is implying to help the Black Arms based on the cutscene, because he's like, oh, I trust Black Doom. So he does that, goes to Digital Circuit, blows up the mainframe, pops out at Prison Island, where he does neutral or hero, doesn't really matter, however you want to interpret it. Mad Matrix happens, Shadow just leaves, Eggbreaker fight does or doesn't happen, this could be cut out, doesn't really matter. Pops out at Cryptic Castle, sees Eggman, meets Amy Cream, helps them, question mark, that's just a way to shoehorn Circus Park in. Circus Park happens, he sees the emerald with Tails, Tails crashes, loses the emerald, whatever. Black Doom finally shows up again and is like, huh, what are you doing, Shadow? You seem troubled, here's a flashback. You have the Doom happen, Maria dies in Heavy Dog, Shadow's pissed now, he helps Black Doom in Central City. Then Lethal Highway happens after that, I guess, just to shoehorn it in. Goes to Airfleet, where Shadow then doesn't follow Black Doom's orders and just grabs the emerald. Black Doom is pissed, sends him to Glyphic Canyon. He tries to regain Doom's trust, so he does Dark, goes to Sky Troops, and then at that point, we don't know what's next. Hello there, ex-Dude Awesome. Doing well. We are doing a fun brainstorming. Surprisingly, this actually kind of makes more sense than I was expecting. Like, yeah, there are holes in it, but there's always going to be holes in this. But this is at least more coherent than I was expecting. Oh no, this would be gameplay. Like, this is if we were drafting, you could play it. So the idea was you would be locked into missions. So it's kind of like a pseudo expert mode, but then you'd get the cutscenes. So like this would be I don't know if you played the Sonic Adventure 2. They have a full story mode, I think they call it, where it's all the gameplay combined into one story sequence. which obviously is much simpler for that game because of how the story's structured. This one, not so much. Yeah, Shadow Story is Swiss cheese. We're just trying to build something that would maybe work. Sky Troops idea goes off a bit off of a dark abort last minute. The arc could be how he leaves Cosmic Fall. Sure. That could be a justification, I guess. Lower the requirements of 4 and getting to the goal ring. Sure. Like, I don't know how it would look in practice, but sure, you can assume that. I think a way you can make that work is have the battleships block the physical way forward. Like, you can't progress unless you destroy certain battleships. Sure, you can do the randomizer to make the sequence happen, but you wouldn't have cutscenes. Like, that part of it isn't developed yet. We'd have to figure out how to do cutscene chaining. Shadow betrays Sonic just to be a dick. Perhaps. Sky Troops into Death the Ruins. How does Death the Ruins even start? Is there even an intro cutscene? Oh, I know what it is. It's the whole commander sequence where they're like, the aliens are driven back into the forest? I don't know, that'd be a weird... I guess that's fine, though, too, at the same time. I guess for now I'm just gonna shove that in there. Well, I'm not sold on this going to Iron Jungle, but I'm not sold on it not either. This is... I don't really know what Shadow would do in that one. Sky Troops and Black Comet. Sky Troops Dark Abort to Iron Jungle Hero to Eggbreaker to Lost Impact Hero. But then when do we shoehorn in Death Ruins? Or do we just not? Because the whole, like, promise time, or whatever, the day of tomorrow, whatever Black Doom's saying, that's kind of relevant. Do you mean before the Doom? Because if we're doing it after the Doom, Shadow's gonna be, like, angry. Angry Shadow. Angry little hedgehog. The troll thing doesn't really get brought up. Huh. I suppose you're right. These aren't really that important. Let's ignore Death Ruins then. Okay, let's move this on. So Sky Troops to Iron Jungle, aborted neutral or whatever the heck you want to call it. Or boarded dark, I mean. This sequence happens, you can, I don't know, whatever you want to do here, doesn't matter. Iron Jungle is just a thing. He fights Eggbreaker regardless. Except Dark, I guess. So Dark probably doesn't really make sense. Because he confronts Eggman, wouldn't he do that over the radio? So let's assume Eggman is just deleted from both of these. You don't interact with Eggman at all for both these stages, partner-wise. They're just not there. You can help Omega or not, doesn't really matter. Lost Impact is a flashback sequence that could just happen after. So, okay, Iron Jungle finishes, Sonic shows up, they get on the spaceship, going towards Space Gadget, but then in between that, the Lost Impact sequence happens. After that, the whole Space Gadget sequence happens, completing it, beat the stage, and then what? I suppose Blue Falcon could be shoehorned in here, if we really wanted that. I feel like the Arc can't be interjected at this point. So goodbye, the Arc. I'll put you by Black Death Ruins for now, and Black Bull. Yeah, so Space Gadget happens, then perhaps Blue Falcon, or deleted. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put all of these here. I'm not really clear what route would be relevant. So Shadow does stuff on Space Gadget, kills Blue Falcon or doesn't, could be deleted, doesn't matter. Now the Arc's falling apart because the Emerald is taken or whatever, and I guess the Black Arms are attacking it. It's weird because I think it's implied that Cosmic Fall happens after the Arc because of the Black Arms attacking the Arc, but they don't explicitly say that. They don't do that in the original game. I think this was kind of intended, but then they just didn't. But, Space Gadget neutral doesn't make sense Emerald-wise. Maybe Hero for Space Gadget? Sure. You know, that's not bad because he remembers Sonic and, like, so he remembers things with Space Gadget. So he had the flashback with Lost Impact. This doesn't really matter. Space Gadget happens, he races against Sonic, and oh, I'm remembering crap again. I guess Blue Falcon doesn't make sense then. I guess either way, though. Blue Falcon can or cannot be a thing, it doesn't matter too much. Blue Falcon could be after Cosmic Fall, maybe? As, like, the pseudo-final boss of Cosmic Fall's area, maybe? We'll just go with that. Sure. So Dark would be getting the Emerald, Blue would be going to the computer room. This also doesn't really matter, I think. Because regardless, Vector would still get to the computer room, probably. Okay, I thought of a dumb sequence just now. I was thinking about it. Okay, what if? Just hear me out. Space Gadget happens. Before Cosmic Fall, this would be Sonic and Diabolon Space Gadget. You defeat the commander. I guess Sonic would be deleted. You defeat the commander, then Cosmic Fall happened? No, that doesn't really make sense. I was trying to have a justification to shoehorn in Diabolon. Like, you have the intro with the commander, like, you destroyed the arc and killed everyone on it, but then you like pause the cutscene, you have the fight, then after that, Shadow has that whole like, I don't remember anything, you idiot. That doesn't really work. Alright. I mean, Blue Falcon could also be removed. It's kind of irrelevant. Sonic has been deleted. So keep in mind, we don't have to use the event order in the exact sequence. That's also part of this. Like, yeah, most of it would be left alone, but I think we can move stuff around. Yeah, that's true. Blue Falcon is more or less very similar. How would we shoehorn Lava Shelter at this point? Might not be able to. Just like this. Yeah, the arc doesn't really make sense. Because that's assaulting the arc and you're already on the arc. Okay, Cosmic Fall is a thing. This more or less wrapped up the Commander storyline, but we haven't wrapped up the Android storyline. Although I guess Lava Shelter doesn't really wrap anything up. It's just another stage with androids in it. Cosmic Fall, the mission wouldn't matter because you'd just be getting the emerald anyway. Going from Cosmic Fall to anywhere back on Earth is not easy. True. Cosmic Fall, yeah, the intro to Cosmic Fall. That happens like right before it. The whole Commander asking, or Shadow asking the Commander for more time. Remove Cosmic Fall for the arc. My only issue with that is, isn't Space Gadget taking place on the arc? And the arc is about getting to the arc? Like, to the entrance? But sure, let's just go with that for now. But then what? You're in the same situation. The arc is about getting to the Eclipse Cannon. Okay, wait a minute. Although this doesn't really make sense for him to randomly just help Black Doom again. Although, I guess he's not opposed to it? I don't know. But this would have a justification for Blue Falcon to exist. Okay, wait. This might work. As a crappy shoehorn. The arc happens, the Eclipse Cannon is fired. Cosmic Fall happens, question mark? And it's implied you fell back down to Earth? That is such a stretch. Yeah, that doesn't really work. You fall back to Earth, here you go. Here's the crappy finale to shove everything in. You fall back to Earth. You fall back to Earth. You go to Death Ruins, you wake up in Death Ruins, there you go. The whole Shadow's pissed because Black Doom let him fall to Earth. So then you do Hero. Yeah, no, this is just like BS at this point. I'm surprised how far we got though, like considering. There's not that many stages left where it almost made sense. You could play through a good chunk of the game at least. Or you get a lot of the story beats. And then after Death Ruins, he just shows up at Lava Shelter. And then he goes to the last way. That definitely doesn't make any sense at all, but there you go. Clearly you have to just shove in Gun Fortress too, because why not? He goes to Gun Fortress first. Yep, that's what it was, definitely. And then goes to Lava Shelter. There you go. Okay, let's see where it fell apart. So, the final recap. I think I'm gonna get going. So I think I'm gonna kill the stream here after this. So our sequence was based on the intro. Shadow doesn't know what to do, so he helps Black Doom. Then in Digital Circuit, he still has no reason not to help Black Doom, so he helps Black Doom. Ends up in Prison Island. He no longer sees Black Doom anymore, so he can either do neutral or help Charmy. It doesn't really matter. I suppose helping Charmy makes more sense, actually, so they have a justification to get to Mad Matrix. So he goes with Charmy. They go to that whole computer room sequence. They go into Mad Matrix. Shadow does neutral or hero. I guess this doesn't really matter either. Black Doom would not be present in this. Eggbreaker here could or could not be deleted. Nothing of value is really said. They pop out at the other computer, which is Cryptic Castle. Shadow sees Eggman. So you know what? I think this Eggbreaker does have to go away, now that I'm thinking about it. Because it doesn't make sense for him to have already seen Eggman and then be like, that's the doctor, I should go see him, because he already just saw him. So you know what? Goodbye, Eggbreaker. You didn't make the cut. So Eggbreaker's gone. He pops out at the computer room in Cryptic Castle. Yeah, I can give you the charts and stuff. Circus Park is the thing, just as a justification to shoehorn it in, that he helps Amy, and Cream. That's the only reason to shoehorn Circus Park in. Meets Tails, Emerald is a thing. Then at that point, Black Doom finally shows up again and is like, Shadow, what the heck are you doing? Here's a flashback to encourage you to help me. The Doom happens, Heavy Dog happens, Maria dies in that cutscene. So now Shadow's pissed. He goes to Central City, now he has a reason to help the Black Arms again, helps them out in Lethal Highway, just a way to shoehorn it in, because you could make that work. Helps them get away. Then Airfleet is a thing, so it's like, oh, excellent, now we must go get the President. Airfleet's a thing. Shadow disobeys Black Doom, so then Black Doom is pissed, sends him to Glyphic Canyon. Shadow is like, I should regain his trust again, does the Dark Mission, sends you to Sky Troops, but then Shadow at the, oops. Then at the last minute, Shadow's like, screw that, I'm gonna just go see the doctor. Although, wait a minute, does he see the doctor at this point? Oh, he doesn't. Actually, that works, because he wanted to see him in Cryptic Castle, but you never do. And I guess we'd also delete him from Circus Park. So then, he knows that the doctor's on the flagship, he's like, now's my chance. He gets on the flagship, gets to Iron Jungle, finally confronts Eggman in Iron Jungle's Eggbreaker. Then Sonic shows up, they board the ship, then on the way, the Lost Impact flashback happens. Space Gadget happens after that. Shadow races Sonic, remembers SA2 racing crap. Then the arc happens. That's the part where stuff's falling apart. Up until that point, it's actually not bad. I'd be very curious if he'd make like a little video of this Angry Waiter. That would actually be neat, just to see how sane or insane it actually seems. Up until that point, at least. Because after that, I'm kind of like, huh? Yeah, Gun Fortress and Lava Shelter are kind of a problem. Up until Blue Falcon works. Although the arc I'm still iffy on, but sure. Like, okay, hold on, backing up. So the Lost Impact cutscene, then Sonic on Space Gadget. Then Black Doom shows up. Okay, wait, this could work, because you kind of abandoned Black Doom after Sky Troops. You just kind of ditched him to go pursue Eggman. Then you're back on the Ark. You do the whole thing with Sonic, and then, oh no, the Black Arms are now attacking the Ark. Shadow re-meets up with Black Doom. He's like, yes, we're attacking the Ark, come help out. So Shadow's like, well, I want to get his trust. So he does attack the Ark. Blue Falcon's a thing. He defeats Blue Falcon. Then Black Doom's like, great, now Cosmic Fall is happening because everything's falling apart. Shadow gets the Emerald, then falls down to the Earth, question mark. So he gets the emerald, but Black Doom doesn't help him out. He falls to the earth. Shadow's pissed about that. So then in Death Ruins, he betrays him and is like, "Screw you! I'm not helping you anymore. You left me to die." Yeah, okay, that's like fanfiction BS at this point. That's the best way I can think of to shoehorn that in to transition to Death Ruins again. Nothing of value, Spectral Star. Just memes. Yeah, it gets kind of crazy at that point. The Airfleet shoehorn does work, though. I will give it that. The arc is him escaping Cosmic Fall. Sure, that could be swapped around, I suppose. Is it possible to connect the computer room to digital circ? What levels have we got left after Death Ruins? It's just this. I can. Well, the bosses don't really matter. We never touched any of the comet stages. I think that's it actually. Yeah, we did everything else. We just didn't touch the alien stages. And then obviously like the finale. But I kind of feel like the alien stages are redundant because of the finale. So it's really Lava Shelter, Gun Fortress, and then these two stages, that's it. Cosmic Fall computer room. Uses cyberspace to go back to Earth. Yeah, that could be shoehorned in, I suppose, as a solution. Well, you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't consider the forced sequence of events as part of this. It's good to think about it just as like a base, but it doesn't have to be that way. Survives SA2 again. You're probably not wrong. Alright, let me get a screenshot of this for Angry Waiter. I'm gonna send you like a full screenshot first, which is kind of like not great quality, but here you go. And then a slightly more zoomed in one that's more coherent to look at. Hopefully that's good enough. There you go. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it there. So this was a fun little brainstorming thing for the fun of it. I don't know how feasible this would be. It'd be cool to see if this was a thing ever. But yeah, it is a thing. Let's make him survive a third time. Yes. So he falls back down to the earth. Amazing. Now clearly we gotta also add in stage 9901 or whatever it is.